Hello everybody! Today we're going to see how I draw Batman, the movie version. Okay, pencils first and then Sharpie. So if you don't want to watch the pencil portion of the video where I sketch the entire thing out, look in the description and you'll see a link that you can click on that will take you to the Sharpie portion of the video. There'll even be one for color. So for those of you that are going to stick around, I'm going to start off with a quick sketch for myself and get us going. Now, I've got him a little low because I'm trying to do like a jumping Batman. And what's funny is when I sketched this out, I did exactly what I told you not to do last time, or with the other Batman, which was do the knee up like that. What's wrong with my knuckle? So I was like, oh, you know what? I even said in the video, I was like, you know what? I do it myself, so I totally get it. I understand, but I corrected myself and was like, you know what? If I do it like this instead, where he's kind of flying out, like maybe he's hanging on to his rope, his bat rope, and that's, you know, just kind of flying out with him. If I do something like that, maybe I can get away with not really raising his leg up, but I got an idea. So just bear with me and let's see if we can get there. And I will try to make this dynamically, I don't know, I'm trying to think of something, some old Batman saying, I'll make it awesome, okay? I'll just try to make it awesome. Okay. Alright, so if I do that, and if I do this knee kind of up, I can kind of get away with that. It's raised, but not really. So in other words, it's more like this. And down and in the back. Like that. So we'll say it's in front of this leg. We'll draw it like that. But it's not like way up here like everybody likes to draw. Like I said in the other one, I know, I used to do it too. It's fun to draw, it's a fun pose, but it's not right. It always looks weird, always. I don't know anybody who's ever pulled it off. But you know what, that's just my opinion. Maybe somebody has. Okay, so I'm gonna have him kind of flying out like that, put this arm kind of out here like this. And then I could just draw his hand straight out. You know, he's concentrating. He's Batman. Okay. That's not bad. That's not bad. I like it. How's yours coming out? Are you sketching? You should. I mean, you're more than welcome to just wait and see what I do. But ultimately, in the end, you need to be doing this too, right? You need to be making your own how I draw, because this is the fun part for me. I get to draw whatever I want to draw. You know, this is my thing, and ultimately that's where you will be too. You just got to get there. You know, you got to practice and practice and practice. Okay, let's see. His eyes are going to be tricky, but I think I pulled it off. The one thing I don't like about this Batman is the how his neck. I don't know how to say this, but his head to body isn't one piece. Like normally Batman, the neck, it's you don't see it. But in this movie, the way they said they wanted to do it, like, well, I wanted to turn my head. Well, you know what? You could have done it. And I'm going to go on a little rant here about costumes and props and what they could have and didn't do and that kind of thing. And I don't buy the whole he couldn't turn his head. He couldn't. Absolutely. I agree with that. He could not turn his head. But I think it was just the way it was designed. if you were to see other movies, like let's say The Watchmen, the owl, whoever designed that, actually look into it, did a great job of making the latex thin enough that he could turn his neck. Whereas the designers for the Batman movies, they didn't. It was too thick right there, and he couldn't turn his head, or it would like his head would turn inside and the mask wouldn't turn. It was kind of funny, but it was just poor design. I'm just going to say it, you know? And the reason I say that is I appreciate people putting a lot of hard work into it, but it wasn't done very well. And the people got paid a lot of money to do it, and I'm very happy for them. And maybe they got rushed too, because that's another part of the movie industry is you got to work fast, you got to get it out there, and you got to get on to the next project, you know? So maybe there's other circumstances I don't know about, but I'm just saying that neck was horrible. So I'll say it. It could have been done better. So I don't like this, the whole head into the neck, into the body. Okay. I get what you're doing. I get it. I just don't think it looks good at all. That's just my I was going to say my 2 cents, but it's got to be something with drawing, like my number 2 pencil. That's my number 2 cents. Although saying number 2 cents sounds like you're talking about poo, not really about a pencil. So I shouldn't be saying that either, huh? All right, we'll figure something out. We'll figure out a saying for us drawers. Okay, and let's see. I think I'm ready to go. What I'm going to have to do is just kind of rely on tiny details while we're moving, you know, because I don't want to spend too long on this. This sketch looks pretty good. I'm happy with it. I'm ready to go. And I say we get going instead of trying to figure little tiny details out, where I can just do that with the sketch. Or with the ink, sorry. Okay, just drawing a cape for him real fast. Just to give us some dynamic. There we go. Swinging into action. There it is. That's exactly what I wanted to do. So I'm going to erase some of these lines because and all I need left are the confidence lines. And the confidence lines are what I call the thicker lines. The sketchy lines, which in life, if it's sketchy, you don't rely on it, you know. But the thicker lines that we ended up using, those are the confidence lines. That's what we're confident in drawing. And that's all I need. So I'm going to erase a lot of this to make a tiny light ghost of an image. And I can work with that. That way also it doesn't stand out whenever I start using my Sharpie. Ow! Just poked myself in my finger. Ooh, look at that. All right. So I say we switch over. I'm going to be using the Sharpies now. Let's welcome all the people that skipped over to this part of the section. Welcome, skippers. Welcome to the Sharpie portion of the video. I'm going to be using a Sharpie fine point and a Sharpie pen, mostly the fine point, but the pen for the tiny little details that this Sharpie fine point is too fat for. So I'm going to be working with the tiny details like the face of the eyes and build out from there, okay? I've already sketched the entire thing out, then I've erased the thicker lines, and I'm sticking with the prominent lines, the confidence lines is what we're calling them. That because we're confident in what we're doing here, okay? So I'm going to start off with the eyes, and I'm just basically going to draw his open parts of his goggles, his goggularies, where his eyeballs are. And then I'm going to draw, this is going to be kind of a little tricky to do, I'm going to draw the top of the lids in there like that. I'm going to draw his iris in there like that. And then color is going to take care of most of the rest of it, so I don't really have to do too much here. I'm trying to put in a little bit of a pupil, but also I don't want to do too much here because it's going to all bleed and disappear, you know, like that. So that's all I'm going to do for the eyes. I've got them about the right level of where I want it. It's a little shift like this, so now I'm going to have to adjust my head, but I can make this work. It's not a problem. Okay, so I'm going to start building off of this, which is angry eyes that are built into the mask. And I'm going to try to, let's see if I can do for his nose. His nose, boy, they've got this one covered up. Okay. His nose, I'm going to go ahead and draw it in. Just something like this, just to give me the edges to play around with. And I'm going to thicken it up just a little bit and build off of this. So I'll go ahead and do the mouth too, since we know where we are size-wise. And that way I also know that I've got it going straight down like this versus the way I had it tilted just a little bit. And that's, like I said, it's just to reprioritize and reorganize the sketch that I had. Okay, and there's his chin. Looks kind of weird right now, doesn't it? But we'll build off of this. So I'm going to build just a little bit of a lip on the top right there. Not much. And a little bit down here. Something like that. And build on this cowl muzzle mask. What would you call this part around his mouth? It's weird because it's not all the way out. You know, it's a little. Okay, look, I'm just going to come out and say it. I guess I'm not a huge fan of this version of the movie version costume. I know I'm probably just an old man who likes my old ways, my old stuff, and I like the old Batmans, but Batman, whatever you want to call them. But it's just something about this design I am not a big fan of. You know, I like regular, like, comic book version style. And I was talking about the neck. I was talking about this in the sketch, and we'll see if I can get there again, but I kind of want to guide you as where we are. So I'm going to draw the outside of the face like this, and it's got some weird like lines to it, I guess, to emphasize the way it was. I guess maybe that's what I don't like too, all the weird beveled edges they put in here, you know. It's just weird. I'm gonna stop talking bad about it. I'm gonna appreciate it that we have it, and leave it at that. Okay. So I'm gonna try to mirror what I did over here. Just kind of do some little subtle face lines, just to match what we got, so I can build it and kind of make it look the same. Okay. All right, that's working. Okay, and I need to thicken up these lines too, because I'm about to switch over to the big Sharpie. Well, after I do these tiny details of the mask. And that Sharpie is super fat compared to these lines. So I kind of want to start getting ready to make it all look uniform in the same line width. It's not going to be there. This is obviously going to be super, super smaller. But I want to start to prepare, so that's kind of what I'm doing. All right, so let's see. Okay, and I'm kind of just doing like this first, just kind of floating, because I know where my sketch is, and I know what I can build off of the design versus my sketch. Alright, so now I'm going to do his ears, which are super way too pointy. But hey, they made a lot of money off this, so, you know, maybe I'm the one who's wrong. I can admit that. I'm just an old man complaining about old man things. Okay. Doing this one like this. And again, I'm going to try to thicken it up just a little bit, but I don't want to go too far. Because sometimes I say that, then I start going really thick. Alright, that looks pretty good to me. I'm happy with that. And let's see, and we're going to build it in like this a little, like this a little. We're just going to build off and connect there, something like that. Alright. And I think a little bit more angry, like this. There we go. I don't know why he's angry, because he's in a horrible suit. Okay, that's just me getting in some punches, some dirty punches. All right, there we go. So now I'm going to switch over to the other Sharpie, the big fat fine point, because I can just go crazy with it now. So I'm going to, I have the sketch out and I don't have all the tiny details, but I'm going to kind of play around with some of them. So bear with me and we're going to have some fun with where we go with this. I tell you what, let's do this first. Let's build this emblem on his chest, which doesn't look anything like Batman, but I'm going to go with what they made. Not Fortnite. Don't worry, I'm not complaining about Fortnite. I'm complaining about the character design. Okay, so let me talk about this while I'm doing this. So this is what I was saying. This is what I don't like about the costume. The whole neck piece. How they took away his like flatness of the neck, like going from the head to the body straight down. You know, that's what I was used to. That's what I grew up with. But when they designed it, the designers didn't have the know-how, I'm just going to say it, or the time, probably, don't know, to do it correctly and make it thin enough that he could turn his head. So in the movie they said, well, I want to design it so I could turn my head. And that was their excuse for changing it up and giving him that neck like that. But like I said, there's a lot of people that got paid a lot of money to make it look like that, and I don't like it. And the example I gave was the owl in The Watchmen was almost like a Batman design. It was a full head cowl piece. You know, he could turn his head just fine. Those designers knew what they were doing. So I'm just going to say it. It was possible. It was possible. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to build this Batman. I'm going to build his neck like this. And he's got a bunch of different pieces that build off of this. So I'm just going to kind of go like this. And there's a lot of detail in here that we don't have time to do. So I'm just going to kind of do stuff like this just to build the plates and the armor and all that stuff that he has, okay? So I'm going to do his shoulders up because his arms are up like this. Same thing over here. They're raised up because, you know, when you raise your arms up, the shoulders come up. So they're a little higher than normal. Okay? And I'm just going to build off of this. So he's got his chest piece like this, and I'm gonna do a lot of this just to give us places to start, stop, and build. Okay. And this will help us, like I said, with the tiny detail of all the intricate stuff that's in there, which we don't have time to do. I'm not even gonna mess with that. Okay, but again, it gives us good start stop points, so we know where to build off of. And I think what I'm going to do too is for some of his armor, I think I'm just going to do like an outline and come back in and do little small connected pieces. Okay, so here he's got, let's see, his chest. You know what I'm going to have to do? I'm going to have to work from the belt up so I can start connecting some of this stuff. So let's do that. Let's work on his belt. So it's going to go across over like this, and this is where I'm going to put his boxes. You know, they're supposed to be pouches. But I'm just complaining about everything, aren't I? I'm just being a old negative Nelly about it. I'm being an old man grouchy pants. Sponge John Grouchy Pants is what I'm going to be, because I'm just complaining about everything. So I'm going to do a little bit of detail to try to, you know, make it stand out and give it a little bit of detail, just a period, because it's, you know, a cool belt. Okay, just something like that. And now we can build off of this. Okay, so again, he's got some ridges that we're gonna play with, and the reason I'm doing it like that is because his chest is bigger right there, so that's why I'm going out. Okay, and again, that gives us some good start stop points that I can build off of. Okay, so for the middle part, let's do something like this. How about we just do, with the thinner plates, or the thinner the thinner Sharpie, I'm going to do the plates of his costume like this. Okay, and they're kind of muscles. You know, like, those aren't pecs. What are those? Your abs. They're like little abs is what they are. But it's like his armor, you know? And again, I wasn't too crazy about the outfit when they do stuff like that, but again, that's just old grouchy pants. Sponge John grouchy pants is what that is. Okay, so it's all right. Maybe that wasn't such a good idea, but it's going to be taken care of with color anyway, so we won't worry too much about that. And again, there's something like this. There we go. Okay, but at least we can build off of this. Okay, so I'm going to close this up just to have the place to build off of. And I'm going to draw, let's see, he's got like, I guess that's like a strap going across holding on this, maybe? I don't know, it's hard to tell exactly what this is. I'm going to come over here. Here I go again complaining, I don't know what that is. Kids on my neighborhood picking up my grass and throwing it across my yard. And I sound like the penguin. I guess that works because I'm drawing the Batman and complaining about it, right? So, okay, back to drawing. Let me explain what I'm doing. So, there's his elbow, and there's going to be his gauntlet, you know, his wrist guard. And so, I'll draw the other edge over here so you see where we are. And I'm just going to kind of add it like this, come up here like this, and I'm going to add on the spikes like this. And again, he's got like here like little detail, like little, not vents, but little detailish things like that to accent that wrist guard. Okay, and so I think here we'll just, let me see, you know, I really didn't sketch a handout. I'm sorry, let me do that real fast. Let me just sketch something out. And I was going to draw like a what do you call it? Like his hand in a holding something, but I think just flying out would be better, you know? So okay, so there I'm just going to draw his fingers like this, his thumb like that, and that's all. We're just kind of hanging out because he's jumping through the air. So I'm gonna add a few little details just to make it my own and to kind of clean up some of this too, because okay, and I don't think there's much else that's on the glove. We'll just add some little detail like that. Yeah, there's no like knuckle punch hole things or anything like that. So that's all we're gonna do. Okay, so let's build on this arm over here. So same thing. We're gonna draw that little strappy strap coming off like this. That's another kind of little arm protector thing. And I'm just gonna draw a little bit of detail, just have something fun like that, and then draw his arm coming up to it like this, into the elbow, and again the wrist piece, the gauntlet is what I keep calling it. I'm going to draw his little spikes, little tiny spikes like this. There we go, a little detail there. And here this hand, we're just going to have just the same thing but out like that. So I'm going to do up like this. There's one finger. And then it's going to have the thumb just floating out. And they're like that. I don't think we're going to do too much there because you can't really see much. I've got that one pointed more than anything else. So, okay. Same thing, just kind of giving him some circles and stress like that. Okay, and there he's just jumping is all he's doing. So, all right, so now we got to draw the rest of him. So, here, he's got those little things there. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of follow my sketch and just add little bumps and details, because he's got like muscle, what do you call it, accents. Okay, what I mean by that is he's got little, let's see if I can do this right, like little breakpoints like this, you know, that are accenting his muscles, or where his muscles would be, just to kind of break up the costume and make it a little different, you know, something like that. It's armor, basically, is what it is. His armor plating, you know. So it's something like that. It's like I said, it's movie Batman, you know. It's what he does. It's how he wears it. Maybe it's Batman, maybe it's Maybelline. I don't know. Okay, so he's got a crotch piece. Just gonna call it what it is, like that. But like I said, his leg is bent over here, so I'm just gonna kind of add some stress. You know, all cloth, all material bends and whatnot. Even this armor piece, you know, it's built on his web pants, so that's what it is. So okay, so I'm going to build on this leg and then do the same thing like I did over here, just some little you know, accent stops based on the sketch. The knee pad I want that standing out, so I'm not going to break it up like I did on the other one. And see, this one's going to come in here and do this, cross here like that, and I'm going to add some of the detail like I did over here. I'm going to bend that a little bit just to, you know, break it up, make it look like the material's bending. Let's see, how is this one? This one kind of goes... It's hard to do when I'm just making this up. That's the fun part, is that, you know, this doesn't exist. I'm using sketches of the, or sketches, I'm using images from the store to know what this looks like, but he's not in this pose, you know, so I'm having to figure this out. But that's the fun thing of drawing and making it up myself, is I get to decide. This is my drawing, this is how I draw. You draw how you draw, and we'll meet somewhere in between. But that's the fun part, is I get to make it up. And that's why I want you to learn how to draw too. It's going to be awesome. One day we'll all be drawn together. Okay, I'm just going to draw his boots like this. And I got his foot just pointed down, so I'm just going to do a little pointy like that. His heel's back behind him, so you can't really see it that much. This one's tucked in, so this is what I was saying in the drawing section, is that I did exactly what I told you guys not to do by bending the knee way up like that. Instead, I bent it down like this, but this part of his foot is still bent back. So we're kind of getting away with oops, something like that. Getting away with, it's still bent, but it's just not, you know, way back there bent. Okay. Kind of fixing this hand. Kind of got a little wobbly there. Got a little excited. Okay, and so there's no more. Yeah, this all kind of just disappears down in here. Same thing with that. Oops, that was a mistake, but I'll take care of that with color. So, one last thing for the cape. I'm going to do it with a thin Sharpie. It's coming off of him like this. I got it flowing back here like this. And I've already sketched it out, so I know where my my bat whips are. The tails, you know, on this cape. And I wanted to use this Sharpie just so I can, you know, it's going to be taken care of with color anyway. But that way the body stands out and not the costume, you know? Or not the cape. All right, there we go. I'm real happy with that. I hope yours came out awesome too. I say we take care of the rest with color. So that is Batman movie version. So here is my colored version. You could do it however you like. I just thought I'd show you how I decided to color it. If you'd like to color it like this, you can always pause the video here and use the coloring techniques that I used, or you can just make it your own. Remember, this is how I draw. You draw how you draw. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more adventures of how I draw. Plus, don't forget to hit that notification button to be updated about each new video.